Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to your next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. Sorry, I was just waiting there because I was waiting for that other segment to be finished. As I was watching this Own Your Vote, Own Your Vote, if you are in the United States of America, we can't begin to urge and encourage you to recognize how important it is for each and every one of us to become very involved with not only the voting process in this country, but with the power of your voice being heard. I know sometimes it can feel a little daunting that maybe we should just give up, renounce it all, say la vie, whatever will be, will be. But I'm here to tell you no, because if you do that, you'll never know what could have happened if you had not given up or given in. So please go out there and do your mailing vote. I know I'm mailing in my vote, and I want to just take care of it early so I don't have to think about it later, because I don't really wish to witness the negativity that will be emerging in terms of this this voting cycle. And I have urged you over and over again, please protect your consciousness and protect your hearts during this particular time of transition. We know it's going to be quite unique, but please protect yourselves. So, when I think about just how much we have endured, I would say maybe since 9/11. Since 9/11 in the United States, we have been through a lot. And I know we forget easily. I know we sometimes just forget, all of us. We just forget really easily and get back into our comfort zones, and stuff is happening underneath the rug and we don't know because we're comfortable. We all have an iPhone, we might have our own car, we have food on the table, we have shelter, we've got clothing, we've got maybe a few folks we call friends, and then we get comfortable in our little box. But here's your invitation. Start to think and speak and live outside of your box. The moment you think, speak, and live outside of your box, you get to understand the power of the human being, the power of the soul, and how much it can actually offer your life. Today's conversation is on the power of renunciation and freedom. That's a big one, isn't it? How many of you feel that you're free? And what is freedom? Is it the ability to do what you want when you want, to say what you want without holding back? Is freedom not being incarcerated or locked up in a jail? Is freedom having a green card or an American citizenship if you're in the United States of America? What's your definition of freedom? I've spoken to thousands of immigrants who've come to this country, and they never knew they had to work so hard to get what they have. Car, home, clothes, dignity, respect. And they've asked themselves, and I've spoken to a lot, especially from India, because in India, you can hire a driver, you can hire someone to help to take care of your home, you can even hire somebody to take care of your child, you have somebody to help go shopping for you, you have someone to help do your hair, your this, your that. There's always someone that you can actually invite into your home to help you with your chores and your things to do. So many times they'll tell me it's a little bit easier in India. But when you come here, you learn resilience. You learn how to stand on your own 2 feet here. Here you learn to develop the power of discernment, the power to judge, the power to make right decisions so that you can come into action. If you don't have the power to decide and the power to make really strong decisions, you become kind of scared, afraid of believing that your choice will be beneficial. So many of us are scared of making a decision because we don't have faith in ourselves. So what that says, I'm not free inside of my head. There's something sitting there that I need to get rid of. And what is it? What is it that I'm afraid of that I don't want to see? I might have mentioned to all of you a while back that for a while now I've been kind of spending some extra time in meditation and looking at my inner world, the world behind my eye. That is the soul. And I've been paying attention to observing what thoughts are emerging in this soul at this particular time in my journey. And if you watched our program with psychic healer and author Ainsley MacLeod, I think that was last week, Friday, I believe. Ainsley really gave us some insights on how much the soul is on a journey for birth after birth after birth. But I'll tell you this, my friends, you know, when you sit with your own company and you just look at what's inside of you, some of the things that are there are comfortable. You love them. They're perfect. And some of the things, you become uncomfortable with it. You don't like it. You don't want to see it. It disturbs your spirit. And so you're not settled. But I'm inviting you to really practice more and more, to spend more time looking inwards. Just looking at what thoughts are coming up in your head and ask the question, why are you here? What do you need? And what do you feed? Let's try that for a little bit. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath right now. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. Observe the thoughts that are entering your mind. Take your time, no rush. Can you see it? Or is it blank? Or are they racing ahead of each other? And they're going so fast that I can't even see them. What would it be like if I could literally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and intellectually be the master of my mind and think what I want to think and say what I'm supposed to say and do what I'm called to do? What if I was the master of that? Without any influence from my past. I think what I wish to think. I say what I need to say. And I do what I'm called to do. Will be fascinating. And there'd be no need to blame anyone or to, judge anyone or wait for someone to make me feel the way I want to feel. My feelings will be my own. And I'd be in charge of them. And what thoughts are entering your mind right now? And where are they going? Take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And as you come back into the space, come back into the room that you're in, with your mind open, your eyes opened, observe how you're feeling. What did you just do? Where did you go? Did you gain some insights on who you have become so far? We only paused for 4 minutes. It felt like forever, didn't it? It was just 4 minutes. You see how elusive time can be? And when you're focusing your thoughts on the right thoughts, the right energy, it can feel like infinity. So who are we? We are living energies. We're so powerful if we could just tap into that power. So when we look at freedom, we look at an unadulterated mind. We look at unadulterated sanskaras or personality. We look at having the knowledge of recognizing that we really are souls and we are no longer in need to be attached to our bodies. So the more we can practice the awareness of being soul conscious, then we can actually start to feel a quality of freedom that we haven't felt in a very, very long time. I've done this meditation with you so many times, I've forgotten my count. But you know the meditation, and I'll just run it through you just really quickly. Just imagine for a little bit. You're not your name, your gender, your role, your religion, your language, your nationality, your money, your looks, your race. But you're just you, the soul, the energy behind your eye. Just imagine how liberating that feels. How free you feel as a result of that. Don't you feel free? And every time you put on those labels, and they are connected to people, and they're connected to things, and they are connected to expectations, things that even haven't occurred yet, you feel like you're no longer free. I was remembering one of my young students many years ago. He was a young boy, unmarried, free as a bee. He would go to work, earn his money, send money back home to his parents. Then he would help out with the center financially, keep it going. And then his parents, in Indian families, the parents tend to kind of, ask you to, get ready. Now it's time for kids and it's time to settle down and get married. And one of the things he didn't want to do at a personal level was to get married. But he eventually had to surrender to the needs of his family. Again, sometimes when we give in, it's a little bit of attachment too, no? So he surrenders and he gets married. He has a beautiful son who was born with an ear defect. Beautiful son. And the wife has just done an incredible job with her son. And this is years later, about maybe 4 years later, after knowing him from before. And I just spoke to him and I said, so tell me, has anything changed for you? Is anything different after marriage and kids? And immediately what he said is, I've lost my freedom. I'm not free anymore, Sister Jenna. And I don't know, there was something in him saying that to me that really touched my heart and made me think about how much we compromise and sacrifice being who we think we're supposed to be because of family responsibilities. And what is the common ground here? What's the middling point where I can recognize that I love my family and I love my kids and I love my spouse, but I don't want to lose myself in this. I don't want to lose me in this marriage. How many women have told me after being married for 10 years, they don't remember who they were supposed to be? The only thing that they can remember now is that I'm someone's wife, and I'm someone's mother, and I'm someone's daughter-in-law. And I have to fulfill those roles to the best ability, because that's what I'm supposed to do. But they could have gone to college. They could have had a talent. They could have had a skill. They could have been great dancers, great singers, and they gave it up because of that. Many, many, many stories like that. So what happens is that, do we exchange our freedom for something else? And why do we do that? Because when we get into any sort of a situation where we're living with people that we have to make compromises, is there a way that I can actually remain free in my marriage, free as a mother, free as a daughter-in-law or a son-in-law? I think we can. I think if we were to practice considering ourselves to be souls and to become soul conscious and strip away all those attachments to those roles, subconsciously and consciously and then intellectually and emotionally, the soul will come into action from that place of awareness, from that sense of attitude. I'm free. I'm a soul. I'm in this body. I'm playing this part. I'm playing the part of a mother. I'm playing the part of a wife. I'm playing the part of this. And I'm free. And I invite you to consider that. Because freedom is the greatest gift for the human spirit. And if you happen to be in a job, in a place, in a relationship, and you don't feel free, why are you punishing yourself? Why? You know, I think that one of the greatest gifts that the human being is born with is the power to decide, the power of choice. And when we make a decision, we know that it carries a consequence. And when it carries a consequence, we know that it carries the ripple effect of an emotion and a feeling that gets carved in me for a long time. And I lived that feeling out for a very long time. For example, before I came down today, I was talking to Antonia, and I was telling her, for the life of me, and I have enough wisdom that I understand why things are happening, but for the life of me, I still cannot bear to see people suffer. And it was interesting, everyone, because what I was telling her, I said to her, I know it's coming from a past birth. And we were talking about this brother that we know who's a minimalist. And he with pride will tell you, I don't need much. You know, I'm okay with just a mattress on the floor, you know, and 2 pots, and he lives in an apartment like that. And based on what Ainsley had told us in the session last week about past lives, and it made a lot of sense, everyone. He said that when somebody's born in a birth where they seem to be like a minimalist or they don't want to acquire a lot of things, it's because in the previous birth they had so much and they lost it. And what happens is that they come back in a lifetime feeling that I don't want to lose again, so they don't acquire anything. Isn't that amazing? So to save me from not losing, let me not acquire much. Amazing, isn't it? It's powerful. So imagine, I was saying to Antonia upstairs today, I said, I still get so sad when I see the way people treat each other. And it was like, why? Why do I do that? Why do I get sad when people treat each other like that? You know, so cruel, so unkind, so selfish. And I'm still going to figure out what past birth that's actually coming from. Because I think it's important. Just so I can be free from that emotion, free from that memory. And I keep thinking about things today, you know, brothers. Brother Naveen is here, Brother Santosh are here. And I keep saying, so many of us are living out our stories. We have different karmic realities, people, places, and things. And the only thing that we're learning in Raj Yoga and in the studies with Baba is to break your attachment to your role. And what we don't do again and again is that we don't break the attachment. And the opposite to attachment is love. And this morning as I was laying there, I kept thinking to myself, it's this love that will cure everything. I'm not talking about fluffy, fluffy love. I'm talking about real soul love that will destroy illness. It will destroy poverty. It will destroy hate. It will destroy everything. And it will only birth what you're supposed to have, which is freedom. And I believe that when the energy of that love keeps seeping into your personality, it becomes easy for you to renounce. It's not hard for you to actually get onto a path of renunciation. The other day we were laughing in the advanced classes that we do every morning. And you know, when I first came to my spiritual awakening, the young girls that I was with back in the days, they used to kind of have a bet on me, and they were like, oh, Jenna's not going to make it. I give her 2 years. I always tell this story. Everybody here hears it a million times. And they would say, I give her 2 years. She ain't going to make it. It was just like, okay. And I've made it so far. But I was asking, what kept me? You know, what kept me staying awake? Whether it was with the BKs or without the BKs, I had to stay awake. I didn't care if it was in the Brahma Kumaris or outside the Brahma Kumaris. What was important to me was just stay awake. Or they say stay woke. But stay awake. Why? Because the moment you go back to sleep, anything can attack you from anywhere. But once you're awake, you're aware. You know, you can look around and check your surroundings and be very alert, which is really, really important. So I just wanted to share these thoughts with you because they're coming up again and again for me. The whole importance of freedom, but also the courage to renounce what I don't want anymore in my life. Especially after you've become so accustomed to something, it becomes a little bit harder for you to let go. Only because you think you can't live without that thing. I did a workshop in India one day and I asked the audience, remember who do you love the most? And then they remember that person. And I said, look at that person with so much love and send them all of your love from India and hug them with your mind. And I asked everybody in the audience, how do you feel? You feel good? They were like, oh, I love my husband. I love my kids. I love that. And then I asked them, can you live without them? They were like, no, I wouldn't want that. Oh, so you're attached. You don't love them. Then the whole audience went like, wait, that was a trick question. And I said, no, you have to think about them. Because if you love them, won't you set them free if they need to go? Wow. It was a deep one. So what's your definition of freedom? How does freedom look to you? Will it give you the courage to renounce, to just let go, and to trust, to just trust? All right, so if anybody has any questions that they would like to share before we go into a meditation, I'm open. I'm open to looking for that. It's really nice to be with all of you today. I missed you all yesterday. We had a pre-recording. So I know that you all don't like the pre-recordings, but they're nice to kind of go back to the archives and to catch up on them too, don't you think? Even I sometimes, when I have the time, which has not been at all recent, but even this morning I just sat a little bit and I was catching up a little bit with the show last night or in the other ones, and I said, that was a nice one, Jen. I like that one. Because I'm learning from hearing what Jen is saying. All right, let's hear what you're up to. Hello, Louise. Portia, I wanted to call you today, Portia Davidson. How are you? Asmita, Om Shanti. So nice to see you. Santosh keeps saying that you sent us a gift and we haven't received it, and I don't know what to do, Asmita. I'm thinking that maybe Sister Geeta got it, and you know, once she goes to the mailbox, we have no idea where anything ends up, but We're not going to give up, Asmita. We're going to keep looking. But that's so thoughtful of you. How absolutely kind. How absolutely kind of you to be so thoughtful. Thank you so much. It's very, very kind. I can't wait to see what it is, if we ever find it. Hopefully we'll be able to find it. Sister Gita, she goes outside and she goes into that mailbox, and we don't know where she ends up unless we find her when she gets in the house. We have no idea where the mail ends up. It can be in her blouse drawer. It could be in the bathroom. Sometimes we found it in the cupboards, which we've never gone into. There was a time we found a whole bunch of mail under her pillow. Sometimes you find it underneath the bed, not even underneath the mattress, underneath the bed. And you know who found those? Happy. Happy went under the bed, and when she was crawling out, we were like, what is that? Sister Gita and the mail. So forgive us if we're delaying our response to you. Know that we love you very much. All right, so Asmita, I hope you get it soon. I can share pictures that I took before sending. Please do. That will be great, Asmita. Hi, Jill. Jill Pabari. Very nice to have you. I don't think I've seen you on before. Sister, how would you suggest to deal with toxic attachments? Leave them? No, just kidding. Don't. How do you deal with toxic attachments? Jill, all I can tell you, if you can somehow find the courage to not see their toxicity, that will be the biggest step. That's one. The second thing is, if you can somehow dig deep to find out what it is that God had put into that soul. Two. The third thing, if you can't even do 1 and 2, spend as much time away from them in the house until you find the courage of love to be able to face them and accept them as they are, knowing that no one's doing anything wrong. This has been where I've been going lately. No one's doing anything wrong. Everyone's living out their karmic energy. I want everybody to hear this tonight. No one's doing anything wrong. They're just living out their karmic energy. It's just that when their energy comes into my space, or my space goes into their space, then it's not so good. There's a misalignment. It's not like this. It's more like trying to get it. It's like, that's what you call toxicity. Nobody can't get the energy in, but when I can see something good in the person, Jill, then somehow for the moment I can get it like this, and it can work. Another thing, depending on the person's personality, find a time when everybody seems to be at a cool space within here, and raise a question or tell a story that could teach that person without any ego, but you tell a story of values to that person and let the person hear that story. And when they walk away, you can trust that maybe something from that story would have hit something deep inside of them to help them. And the last thing I want to share is, sometimes when you look at souls with the energy of toxicity, you feed that energy in them, because it's also growing in you too. I've told you with Sister Gita, like, I won't accept that she's, got dementia and she's got Alzheimer's, and even though we know her memory and everything is waning, I've told the family, let's find that sanskar in her. Let's find that personality in her where she's normal, where she's okay, where she can function, where she can cope. And I won't give up on it. You know why? I don't want to be the one that looks at her feeding that negative energy. And sometimes I fail. Like, I feel like I just want her to be okay. But she's not. So I make myself frustrated and upset. And she's okay with her energy. So what does that say? Right, Jill? So when you look at them with that toxic energy, you have to be careful that you're not becoming toxic too. You know, so we can't look at people from just where they're at. You're going to have to find the power to stand firm in who am I? I'm a soul, and my soul is peace, and it's pure. And I can't allow someone from the outside to make me believe that's not who I am. And if you can try those steps, Jill, I'm pretty sure they'll work and there'll be some benefits. And keep us posted on how it goes. So Portia, you agree with me. It's a good topic. Excellent comments. Asmita, it's a small token of appreciation, heartfelt gratitude for all the love and wisdom you shower. I feel so blessed. Thank you, Asmita. We love you too. Hi, Nikki Dicky. Nice to see you. Hi, Susanna. Om Shanti. Marissa, nice to have you. Thanks for the book and meditations you sent that I won. I'm so glad you enjoyed, Marissa. It's a good book. Okay. So Jill, I hope that helped you in terms of that. Would you all like to do a meditation right now? Why don't we take a moment to pause? It's been a lot of information and a lot of talking in a sense, but also just the silent practice was also quite nice. But I would just think about it a little bit, everyone. Just what do you exchange your freedom for? What are you exchanging your freedom for? That you feel as a woman you have to be married? Or you feel as a man you have to be married? You feel as a couple you have to have a child? You feel that if your job doesn't give you this or give you that, the country you live in, the whatever, the immigration status, your papers, what are you exchanging your freedom for, which is really a consciousness? I am an immortal, eternal, imperishable, pure, and peaceful soul. That's my freedom. It's not anything outside of me. It's the way I know. It's the way I am. It's the soul that I am. I have the ability to naturally be free. So let's go by the seashore, shall we? And just sit there. Imagine yourself sitting as in the awareness of soul consciousness and sending your pure vibrations to the nature. And just thinking about where you want to be inside for a little bit. Okay, see you soon.
Sometimes we find it very difficult to keep a balance because so many things come, not only to distract us, but also to throw us off balance. A surprise, a shock, something negative that we didn't expect. And this becomes more and more every day. And when we are thrown off balance, then we lose our peace, we lose our sense of direction. And how do we get back on track? I have to start to understand that when I am secure within myself, and when I have an understanding of what balance means, then I can quickly put myself on the right track again. And as I become stronger, I will not be thrown off the right track anymore. Keeping balance creates maturity and creates a sense in the understanding that I'm able to deal with difficulties and obstacles, not in a way that is reactive and over-emotional, but in a way that is accepting, in a way that it is appropriate to the person and situation. An imbalanced mind acts very illogically. So to return to balance means that I start to realize that actually all things have their limit, even good things. Let me not go to any extremes, because when I go to extremes, they work against me. For example, patience is a great power. But if I keep being patient and patient and patient, very gradually that devolves into becoming passive and even apathetic. The same way with determination. In determination, I have an aim, I have a focus, and it helps me go beyond all distractions and all obstacles. But if that determination is not balanced with flexibility or with patience, then it starts to become stubbornness. I start to become tense. I start to become over-focused. And when people are stubborn, then they start to become insensitive to the needs of the people around them. So to keep balance, it means that I have opposite positives together. Determination plus patience and flexibility. Another balance is love and attachment. We need to be loving, to be accepting, to be respectful. We need, of course, to show mercy towards others. But for example, if there's too much mercy, what will happen? Then others start to become dependent on me. And when they become dependent on me, then they lose their own freedom. They cannot stand on their own feet. And if I give the wrong type of love, it starts to become possessiveness. And in that possessiveness, the other person loses their freedom. A characteristic of pure love is freedom. It allows the other to be free. So love needs to be balanced with detachment. Sometimes people don't understand detachment. They think it's something negative. But detachment is a very, very positive quality. Another word for detachment could be respectful space. If there's not detachment, if we don't respect the space in between, then there's the danger of getting stuck. And when we get stuck, nothing moves. Even good things do not move. Another balance is the balance of silence and action. I need silence to recharge myself, to renew myself, to relax. I need to go inward from time to time. But if I stay inward and I never come out, then I am lost in myself. I can become selfish, self-centered, lost in my own thoughts and my own ideas. True silence means to come out, to balance my inner world with my outer world. When I find peace in silence, when I find happiness in silence, when I find trust, truth in silence, then I share that with others. And to share, I must come into actions. Silence will always create quality in actions. In the same way, if I am lost in actions and never stop and reflect on what I am doing and why I'm doing it, then those actions will simply overtake my mind, and I'll just be doing and doing and doing like a machine. To keep the balance of different positive things at the same time will keep me healthy and make me truly functional and effective in life and in relationships.
Welcome back. We were just talking in the back about how much we exchange our freedom for little things, right? We'll give up our freedom of feeling good in a day because somebody cuts us off on the highway. How many of us get angry and give up that freedom? How many of us, well, back in the day when when we used to be able to go to work in an office, but how many of you, and I know I've had this feeling, especially in my younger days, once in a while, a little bit, I still have it, but how many of you will go into a workplace or go and see your family at home or go to a party or a function, and there's that one or those two people, or there might be a one person, let's just go with one person, that when you see them, you don't feel love. It's like if you see them in the room, you walk the other way. Have you ever had one of those? You see them and you go, oh, let me go this way and let me not let me not have to bump into them and have to say hello and be a hypocrite, right? How often have you given up your freedom for someone? And you're at the workplace and you don't bring the power of your love forward and the power of your wisdom forward. And as a result, you don't give the best of yourself to that job because you just don't feel inspired because the supervisor or the boss is so arrogant or so incompetent. Now you're blaming the supervisor and the boss for being so negative, so incompetent, so bad. And what are you doing? Just as little as he or she is doing, right? Because if you're spending half of your mental power talking about how bad he or she is, then what are you doing with your time? It's amazing, right? And you give up your freedom for somebody who's just being themselves. I tell you that because I think it's really important. It's really important. So renunciation, let's take a look at that. In Indian culture, there's a saying that when you renounce, it's as if you're inviting fortune. The more renunciation you do, the more you become open for more fortune to come. I want you to think about that. There's a story about where you might have wanted like a job, or you wanted an opportunity, or you wanted something to come to you so badly. How many of you have been in that position? Portia, I know what that's like, where you really go for a job and you put all the energy in, or you submit a proposal to upper management and you're like, we've got to get this. I can't tell you how many ideas I have submitted to upper management in my back in my day, and they just looked at me like, you crazy. Ain't nobody going to do that. But yet it turns out that later on I will actually see it get implemented. But how many of you have had these ideas or thoughts or feelings, and you pushed in and you pushed in and you pushed in, and you just didn't get it. Naveen, have you ever had those moments when like you're trying so hard to get it and you don't get it? And the moment you give up, what happens? It comes. What is in it? I don't know how many of you remembered the story that Oprah shared. She always wanted to play in the movie. Guys, you're going to, please correct me if I get it wrong. Color Purple? I think it's Color Purple. I was going to say Roots, but I think it's Color Purple. So the story goes like this. She somehow had read the book over and over again, and she kept saying, God, I just want to play this part in Color Purple. I want to play it. And she was told, you're too fat, you do this, they'll never get the part. And she did everything. She went on a diet. She lost weight. She did everything she needed to do to get this part. She went in and auditioned. No phone call. They were like, well, maybe this is not the part for you. Maybe next time. And she remembered how much stress she had put herself under. So one day she's walking in her field, and she just walked out and just screamed out to God and go, I surrender. I give up. Forget it. It's done. I don't want the part anymore. Sure enough, she goes back home, and guess who called her? Steven Spielberg. You've got the part for Color Purple. Over and over again. Your power of renunciation will bring forth the abundance of your fortune. But you have to believe that. And the more you let go, the more your soul connects to the greatest power that it has, and that's the power of love. And that love will breathe gratitude, appreciation, acceptance, wisdom. That love will put you in the right place at the right time with the right people. That vibration will attract the best for you. But you have to renounce. You have to let go of your expectations. You have to let go of the way you think you want it. You have to let go of how you think they should treat you. The feeling of how they should treat you. You have to let go of the supervisor or the boss acknowledging you. You have to let go of the boss changing and being the way you think they should be. You have to let go of complaining about the job that you're in. And you have to accept that you're so happy you have a job that can pay bills. So the more you let go, the question is, how much abundance is actually waiting for me? There are two hands. Both I hold a fist and they're full. You're giving me something. I can't even receive it. I can't. Oh, well, what? Oh, you want to give me more? Oh, hold on. Let me see if I can find room. So what? You stock it up and you go, okay, you can give me a little bit more on here. Do you see how that looks? That's how the soul is. It's holding on to so much. And hear the universe. Hear the destiny. Hear the drama. I'm speaking because I'm feeling this for myself too, as I'm telling you. Hear the drama, the universe and Baba want to say, here, child, here's your inheritance. And if my hands are open, and Baba's saying, I'm flooding unlimited inheritance on you, just imagine. Just imagine what I'll get. It'll be very powerful. So the more you renounce, the more you will receive. And the renunciation starts from here. This is where it starts. What are you willing to let go of from up here? Let go of the fact that this person is toxic. Let go of the fact that this person's behavior is odd. Let go of the fact that this one doesn't do this way. Let go, let go, let go. but you're not letting go like a giving up and like, oh, I put my hands up in the air, like what Antonia always says when somebody's trying to explain something to her and they're going on for a long, long time before they get to the point. She like tell them either land the plane, please. So just tell me what you want. That's one. And then the other thing is, Sister Gita has a tendency of picking up things that don't belong to her. So Antonia, when she can't find her keys or she can't find her wallet or something, she goes, Sister Gita, put your hands up in the air. I know it's somewhere. I know it's somewhere around you. And she's like, yeah, you gotta keep renouncing. Just let it go. Yeah, just let it go. Get yourself in a mess you don't need to. Okay, let us call it a night. Wonderful time together as usual, and just nice to see and to be with all of you. And I missed you all yesterday, but I hope you are always going to be tolerant and patient with us as we continue to keep navigating things forward as best as we can. And just, don't forget to help to support the meditation museums so that when we're ready to reopen that we can. So feel free if you'd like to, offer, like, what do they call it? A reoccurring donation? Like, even if it's $10 a month, it just is going to add up. If a lot of people send that in, then the meditation museums will definitely open when it's time. I don't see us reopening the space publicly until maybe March of next year. And this is already, September? October, November, December, January, February, March. That's in another 6 months. With the way that the virus is increasing and with the climate of the political situation, I think we're going to have to hunker down until at least December, and then we're going to be in winter. And when we're in winter, the weather conditions might be such, it's not worth, opening up, and then it becomes high flu season. So just keep us in mind to help us to be able to open up the museums by next year, March, and we can then see each other physically instead of virtually. So please look out for us by going to the meditationmuseum.org website, and I think there's a link there where you can do reoccurring donations that can really help us. It'll really help us getting back there by next year in March. The owner has been very kind. He has reduced the monthly lease on the building, but it's still not to the point that we can keep maintaining what it is that he's still charging for the spaces. And it's still the 2 museums. So we're just continuing. We're not mentally feeling any pressure, but I think as we know it's Baba's task and we know that the universe will provide. But I just feel that by March of next year, I really don't see it being public until then. So in the meanwhile, don't forget to look out for your yogi sisters and brothers, okay? And really appreciate it. I don't think I've ever asked you before. So I think we're just at that point that if the family and everybody comes together tonight, it doesn't have to be much, just reoccurring every month, something. It adds up. It adds up. All right, so enjoy the closing segments. Don't forget to watch us for the Shift Summit Music Festival. So the Shift Network Summit Music Festival, I've been working on it for months, but it's coming September 18th to September 21st. And I'll be launching the Interfaith panel, which will be with Bishop Carlton Pearson, Sister Jenti Kirpalani from the Brahma Kumaris, Elaine Whitefeather from the Native Americans in Sacramento, and I will be hosting them for the Interfaith panel on September 18th at about 11:55. You're not going to be able to watch it unless you register, so please make sure you register on the link that Antonia will put into the comments list, or go to the americameditating.org website, and you'll be able to register there for free to be able to participate. So that will be one of the panels that I'll be spearheading. And we will be releasing the Om Shanti new music video on September the 18th. And Karen Drucker will close us off as well with one of her beautiful songs, Face of God. And then I'll be back on September the 20th for the media panel, Reimagining a World of Media, and for the Emerging Youth Voices panel, which will be on the 20th of September. So the whole program is there online, and you can get a chance. Once you register, you'll get the whole listing of all the activities that will be taking place. Our very good friends, Marianne Williamson, Jean Houston, Michael Beckwith, Neil James O'Day, Caroline Mace, Alison Stoner, so many will be on board to offer such insightful thoughts to help us to go just one more step further. So I'm wishing you all the best, and hoping that you'll be able to join us for the Shift Network Global Summit and Music Festival coming up on September 18th to September 21st. We love you very much. Stay safe, please. Be kind, be loving, be awesome. And I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? Bye-bye.
We find our nation on a precipice, true tipping point. Is this the moment that will finally change our country? Trying to rain on the thunder. Tell the storm I'm new. I'ma rain on this little love. Tell the tweet I'm new.
It's not a broken system. It was built to function exactly as it is.
We must respond with bold action.
This is our country, too. We can build new systems that do what they should.
I'm a walk, I'm a march on the regular.
We are united. We are standing.
Follow away.
And we are going to fight this fight.
Freedom, I can't move. Freedom, cut me loose. I break chains up on myself.
There is something happening across this country. When we work and when we fight and when we march and when we speak up and when we offer solutions, we win.
I'ma keep running because the winner don't quit on themselves.
It's always the right time to celebrate women and black women in particular.
It is an opportunity to show the nation and the world that we will act. It has been an inspiration.
You have the choice, and it is that choice that gives you power.
Vote. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does.
That is what we need next. Action.
Hi everyone, it's Sister Jenna from America Meditating Radio. I hope you've been enjoying Wise-ish, which you can get live on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube from 8:30 a.m. to 8:45. But you can also get it on demand 24/7. It's going to be your power boost for the morning. It's your daily dose for the soul. It's just going to encourage you to make the day that much more valuable. So join us. Looking forward to seeing you. Hi everyone, I'm Sister Jenna. Welcome to our special Zoom meditation segments. Look, it's no joke. Things are kind of weird. It's just weird. Pandemics, protests, job insecurity, global pause. Everyone's numb, but also everyone's searching. And they might be searching on this little gadget of Zoom in a little box. People from all over the world who don't know each other are coming together in Zoom rooms to figure out who they are, why they're here, and how to meditate. Meditation is something that we've often thought that if we make our minds empty, we've meditated. I don't believe that. I think it's important that we learn how to channel our thoughts in a right way that are connected to our vision, our goal, our spiritual attainments, our mental capacity. Then you're really meditating.
this healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friend spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friend spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friend spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friend spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health spirit, thank you for my health. Thank you for my health spirit, thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my